Hey, my name is Håkon Johnsen, and I have the honor of being one of the chairs for the Nonimaging Optics Conference, which is now organized for the 21st time as part of SPIE Optics and Photonics in San Diego in the US. And we have an abstract deadline coming up soon on February 17th. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about how you might submit an abstract if you're interested in presenting your research at our conference. So if we look at our website, we see that at the top we have this banner about the abstract deadline. And if I press submit abstract, it takes me to the call for papers page, where I can read a bit more about the conference, about our different topics, such as theoretical foundations and modeling, design and optimization techniques, energy and solar applications, lighting and illumination, manufacturing and experimental techniques, and specialized and emerging applications. And we also are going to organize a joint session with the New Concepts in Solar and Thermal Radiation Conversion conference. So if you're doing research in one of these areas, I'd love to meet you in San Diego in August to learn about your research and have some interesting discussions. And from this call for papers, you can see different topics and see if your research is within scope of the conference. But another thing that you can do is that you can look at our rich history. So if I go to previous years and all proceedings, we have all our proceedings going back all the way back to the first one that we have here is from 1991. So this conference has been going on for a long time. And if I open one of the proceedings, we have a list of presentations here, and we have both a published paper and a recorded presentation. So this is organized through SPIE, and for the last almost 10 years, they have published recordings of all talks from these conferences. So here I opened a talk from last year from Bill Casserly, where he had an invite to talk about the history and evolution of the conference. So if you want to see more about the history, you can, for instance, have a look at this talk. Note that this does require that you or your university has a subscription to SPIE Digital Library. So if you have decided that your research is in scope for the conference, I want to take you through the process of submitting an abstract, because I'm planning to submit one right now. The one I'm going to submit right now is about our optical design competition, because this year we are organizing a design competition. I can click here to read the full challenge. So the challenge here is to take the light emitted from this cube with a very special angular emission profile and send it into a circular target like this. And the deadline for this competition is in 1st of June this year, which means that by the time of the conference in August, we will know who the winner is, and we will announce this at the conference. So I'm going to submit an abstract about this talk where we are going to announce the winners. So to do that, I go back here to the call for papers and I go to submit abstract. This takes me to SPIE's website, where we can see the same information from the call for papers, and I can press submit abstract again. I will just fill in my email and password and press sign in. If you don't have an SPIE account, you can create an account here to this submission system. Here it says that I've already submitted a couple of papers, so these are my technical papers. I'm looking forward to presenting these and discussing them with all of you. I am going to create a new submission now for the design competition. And it will ask me who I am. I am the author of this submission. Ask me about my education. I'm not a full-time student. I did my PhD, which I finished in December 2020. And the title of my presentation, I have prepared it here, so let me just copy paste it. And it asks me what prompted me to make a submission for the conference. So I am going to say other. I can save and continue. And now it asks for my address. It will be the address of my university, and I accept receiving information from SPIE. And I can save my changes and suggested a different address which looks correct, so I will just accept that. And this is me. I'm going to add a couple of authors because this presentation is made together with my colleagues, the other co-authors. And I will add another author. So I've now added the authors of the paper and filled in their emails and affiliation. The speaker is going to be me. I can write a couple of words about myself. I can save and continue. And then we will submit some details about the presentation. First question here is abstract text for online and or printed programs. So this is brief information about the talk that you would like to hold, which will be published online and also possibly printed in any printed program for the conference. So here I will fill in short abstract that I've written and talking about the presentation that we are going to hold. So this is 50 to 150 words. And then there's a second abstract for technical review, 200 to 300 words. So I have also prepared that one, so I will just copy paste that in. So here we have some more details about the competition. We are also referring back to the previous competition that we ran last year. And this competition is very much inspired by the IODC competitions that we're also citing here. So this will be reviewed by our program committee as we are going through all abstracts and setting up the program. So this is helpful both to ensure the quality of the conference, but also because our program committee typically gives some feedback on this abstract, so it can help you improve your presentation for when you get to actually present it. So I will save and continue, and I can choose some topics here. So this year our design competition is related to lighting and illumination. It's also related to design and optimization techniques. And yeah, I think that's my main suggestion for topics here. Keywords, this is optional, and I can save and continue. This is not really related to sustainability, so I can just continue. We have the summary now with me and my co-authors. I am the presenter, I'm from NTNU, and we have our abstracts. And you'll see here that the text is a little bit garbled because the new lines disappear. This is a limitation of the SPIE submission system. But when we actually get your abstracts and review them, we will see new lines. So we will be able to see that this is different paragraphs. So this all looks good, and I can submit my abstract. And that's it. I have now submitted my abstract. I can request an invitation letter if I need that for getting a visa to go to the US. So let me go back to our website, and I'm very much looking forward to the conference, and I hope to see many of you there to have interesting, fruitful technical discussions and also to keep getting to know everyone, because these conferences have two important purposes. The first is to share our research, to discuss it with each other, to learn from each other, inspire each other. But also it's to get to know each other, to form new potential collaborations, to form new friends who are researching similar topics, and to be inspired. So, and with that, I want to thank you for seeing this walkthrough of our submission process, and I will see you in San Diego in August.